Hi folks, welcome to the Sabres Reloaded. This is a video on the channel that I talk about topics within the organization, and we have a big topic, guys, okay? Who should we go after? There is three pieces out there that we keep hearing about in this off season, and two are very new. Not really one of them, but the other one is like very new, which is Trevor Zegras. All of a sudden his name's come into the fold. Well, if we go after him, what's it going to cost? That's the first question, you know. Then you got Patrick Kane, who we all know that there's a certain amount of Buffalo Sabres fans that are in love with this guy. They have man crushes on this guy, and they want him on the Sabres regardless of his age, regardless of his step backwards he took last year. Yeah, people say it's because of injuries. I say it's because of age. When you get older, you start getting more injuries. Think about that one for you folks that think it's only because of the injuries. And then, of course, Hellebuyck in nets. These are the three names. All three would be, I'm sure, welcome by many of us. I'm sure, there's many of us that would just welcome these guys, right? I mean, they can't hurt us. None of these three guys can hurt us, really, is the way I see it, okay? So you look at Zegras. He's the obvious long-term solution if you're looking at long-term as well. Then you got Kane, who can be a real short-term benefit to the team. Could be. I'm saying could be. And then you got Hellebuyck, who might be the safe bet if we want to really structure this team properly and glue it together. So, and all three kind of still hit the rumor mill with the Sabres. They're still talking about these guys. So I'm going to give you my own personal breakdown and what I believe is the proper fit at the end of the video. I'll tell you what I believe is the proper fit of these three players. Okay, so let's look at Zegras. Okay, Zegras we know is a young stud. We know that this kid has phenomenal hands. I don't care about his defensive play. He's young. That doesn't faze me at a kid this age. Come on, That would concern me with Kane more. But let's say with Zegras. Zegras hasn't even reached near the ceiling of his potential. Kid has superstar potential. Is he a superstar now? No, he's not. He's a star, a young star. Superstar, you have to have a reputation, a certain reputation of I'm talking 5 years of dominance in the league. You have to have some sort of not potential, you have to have some sort of a reputation of longevity, at least something. You can't just a guy 2 years, 60-point guy, and he's a superstar. For me, that's not the way I approach it. It isn't. He has superstar potential. Yep, for sure. This is really a solid kid. He really is. I seen when they beat Team Canada and Devin Levi. I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten. I cheer for Canada. So I seen what how good Zegras is. I did. I seen it. I also seen how great Devin Levi was too. Wouldn't it be something they become teammates, eh? But I think when you break it down, the problem for me is supply and demand. How much are we going to have to give them to get this guy? We suffered to get these assets. I get that we can't keep them all. I do. I understand that. But I want to make something very, very clear, guys. Very clear. Not all these assets that we got, not all these, like Ostlund, all these guys, they're not all going to make the NHL. As much as Adams we think is the man, a genius, something happens along the way and it just doesn't work out, or I'm telling you, we'll see. There'll be some that, Kisakov might be never an NHL player. He might never make it. There's certain players, guys, that just don't make it eventually. First, second, third rounders. Oh, look, I try to go around that area, first to third. See if they're drafted in the top 100. So what we can give up for Zegras, well, we can't give up something on our team like Dylan Cousins. That's not happening. That's a non-starter for me. No. I would not trade Dylan Cousins 1-for-1 They could send us over a first-round pick in Zegras, and I would say no for Dylan Cousins. And I honestly mean that. The only reason I'd be tempted is because how low their pick could be, but they'd want to protect it. So that goes out the window anyway. No, I would not trade. Dylan Cousins is a whole 200-foot game guy, where Zegras is one-dimensional. He's flashy. He's got good hands. Outside of that, he doesn't have any of Dylan Cousins' game. He doesn't. He's not tough. He's not physical. He's not good defensively. Dylan Cousins is all the above. So no, we don't trade a young Dylan Cousins for a young Trevor Zegras. If Dylan Cousins was 32, yes, right away, 100%, you make the deal. But the same age, no chance. So they'd have to give us something back, and there's no way we'd ever do the trade anyway. So I think for Trevor Zegras, the asking price will probably be a first-round pick and 2 of our prospects. Good ones. Rosen, somebody else. Oslin, Rosen, first-rounder. That's a lot, guys. It's a lot. So think about it before you just jump into your Zegras swimsuit saying, hey, we got to get this guy. Think about it first. All right, Patrick Kane. We all know the city of Buffalo, many of us, me included, were hoping he would come there once upon a time when the team needed him most, years ago. We're not in desperation mode no more, guys. Could he help the team right now, though, is the question. That's what's important. Could Patrick Kane help this team especially if we get into the playoffs? Absolutely. Absolutely. Without a doubt. Without a doubt, Patrick Kane could help this team. I don't like his age. I don't like his regression. I don't like how easily he might get injured. He might be in a playoff game, done for the playoffs, just like that. One hit and the board's crushed, out, done, finished. It's not the old days anymore. There's bigger, stronger guys, quicker than him now. It's not the same league as when he was a kid and young and flashy, and it's not the same league. Not when you're that age. No. So could he help us though? If he doesn't get hurt, yeah, sure, for sure. How much would he cost? I went on the record here saying $4 million and under for Kane. Right now, after what he did last year, $3 million and under. And I'm open ears for 1 year, not 2, 1. 1 year. Let him prove himself to this franchise, not us to him. Okay? There's too much talent in our team now that we have to go to Patrick Kane and say, please be on our team. We don't need him. We're doing him a favor because he comes over here and he's playing with all these youngsters. We're doing him a favor because the next year he's unrestricted and his numbers go like this because he was on Buffalo, guys. Come on, he knows it's a good marketing for him. Don't think he doesn't. We're the 3rd highest team in the league last year, even with the injuries. We were the 3rd highest scoring team in the league last year, 2nd best on the power play. So there's absolutely no reason, at least I remember 2nd best on the power play. Don't quote me 100% on that. We did nosedive. No, we were top 10. See, all year though, we were like 2nd and 1st with Edmonton. Remember, guys? And then the last 20 games, this happened. Injuries. Tage, especially Tage. That affected us. When he went down, so did our power play production, guys. Let's not forget that. Let me get back to what I was talking about. Patrick Kane. He knows he can come to this team, young studs, young horses, stallions on this team, and he knows it, okay? He knows it. He can market himself, have a killer season, a comeback season, benefit off the backs of guys like Tage Thompson, Tuck, Skinner. He knows. He can, Darlene, let's not forget that. He knows that. So he can come here, market himself, and, for $3 million, it's worth the risk. I will say I can accept the risk. If it's 1 year, $3 million, it's a low risk. And if it doesn't work out, he's Patrick Kane. We trade him at the deadline and market his name. Get him out of town. That's it. Now, Hellebuyck. Okay, Hellebuyck might be the key piece that we need, in my opinion, out of the 3. Hellebuyck has made it vocal he wants out of Winnipeg, and as camp progresses, he's going to be the team guy, and he's going to say, no, I don't want to leave, and he's going to say all these things, guys. He is. Let me make sure my audio's on, because if it's not, I'm going to cry. It's on. And if he doesn't, let's say, sign with another team, I guarantee you during the season, by the deadline this year, they're trading Hellebuyck anyway. He's out. Winnipeg fans that think he wants to stay in Winnipeg are absolutely delusional, and they're not being honest to themselves. So Hellebuyck, though, would be what I believe, guys, that the cement that binds the house, you know? It really, I think, would be that kind of pickup for us. And we'd be looking at a long-term contract. We'll talk about the money in a sec, though, with all three at the end. But I think he would be, of course, if we had one of the three to pick, I know 90% of you guys, 95% of you are going to say Hellebuyck. Get Hellebuyck in here with Devin Levi. And my goodness, the goaltending tandem would be outstanding. It just would be. You know, so Hellebuyck, deep playoff run he has in his career, playoff experience in his career, steady goalie for how many years now mathematically, and you can look at special metrics and everything. Yes, I know he's a good goalie. I do. Do I believe he's the answer? Money, guys. Money. We have a thing called the salary cap. We have to remember that. You know, Colorado, you know, can tell you that you don't have to have the greatest goalie in the world to win the Stanley Cup. But we are Sabres fans, and we want to feel secure about everything we do. And we want to get in the playoffs for sure this year and cause damage, right? So Hellebuyck would be an outstanding acquisition. I have no doubt about it, guys. No doubt about it, of course. And I've been saying forever, he's not the guy to get. No, because of money. This is the thing. So here's where I look at it, okay? Zegras, we have to give up too many assets to get him. Are we willing to give up those assets, yes or no? Because we are getting an asset back. He's not an older guy. He's a young man. He's, you know, so we're getting a stud back, but we might be giving up 2.5 studs to get him. Do we want to do that to our organization? You have to ask yourself, yes or no. And then you got Patrick Kane, who we'd have to get from free agency, might rub us the wrong way. How he might make it between us and Toronto at the end. You know what I mean? That would rub a lot of Sabres fans the wrong way, especially he's from Buffalo. It's like, how dare you even bring them into it right now, right? So could we get him for $3 million? He'll probably play hardball and want 6. He might. He might. And then we have Hellebuyck, who is in the final year of his contract coming up, and we need him for more than 1 year. Would he sign like a 2-year bridge with us for a good price? But what's a good price? $6.5 million? I don't know if he would even do that. He's apparently asking a lot more. So for me, the logical choice of the three, and I'm going to end it here, is none of them. Just that's where I stand. Sorry for the surprise end, but that's where I stand with this. Just continue with our rebuild and let's get these three out of here and move on. That's where I stand anyway, guys. So for me, none of them. Okay, that's where I'm ending it, guys. I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care for now.